You know, I never thought I'd say this, but I actually enjoy the boss fights in Elden Ring, with the exception of a few here and there. For the most part, they're largely enjoyable and challenge you to get creative as possible with the mechanics at your disposal to make quick work of any given boss. This was true of all Souls games beforehand, but it's especially true with Elden Ring. Let's just use my Soul Level 1 challenge run of Margit as an example. The first couple attempts that I had tried to fight him, I approached in the complete wrong way. Anytime I had an opening, I would just R1 spam before trying to get out of the way, but the bosses within Elden Ring are Bloodborne levels of aggressive, while you're still over here with your sluggish forward roll, trying to dodge attacks that are coming at you at light speed. You need to gain an advantage somehow, but how? This is where the stagger system comes in. Once I was able to figure out how to reliably stagger Margit, the fight became a whole lot easier. First, I had to wait for an opportunity to get in one charged heavy attack, along with 2 jumping heavy attacks in succession to successfully stagger Margit for a critical hit. There's no bar that tells you how close you're getting there though, so you're literally kind of just having to feel out how close you are to getting the boss within stagger range. This can make for some pretty intense moments. But this style of play is totally different from how one would play Dark Souls or Dark Souls 3. There was no such thing as a stagger gauge within those games. Really, there was no way to stagger a boss other than parries, really. So your best bet to reliably deal damage was just to get 1 or 2 hits in once you found an opening and then back off entirely. Within Elden Ring, especially when I was fighting Margit, you can see me just patiently waiting for Margit to make the next move. Because if I were to be the one to attack first, I would just get punished because of how much faster Margit is than myself when it comes to the speed of our attack animations. It's definitely a different way of playing the game, and I think in some ways, some Souls fans could find this adjustment to the combat more off-putting than how it was previously. But even without the stagger gauge, there's also a whole new layer to the combat that wasn't in previous games. I'm sure you all know who I'm talking about, our favorite lovable little goat mount Torrent. Torrent goes through some shit along with you on your journey in Elden Ring. That dude deserves all the carrots you should be able to give him. Come on, you gotta add a carrot feeding minigame with Torrent in it somewhere, come on. There are attacks that you are literally unable to dodge without the use of Torrent, and coming from previous Souls games, it is very easy to forget that you're even able to use Torrent within the context of boss battles. This allows for some pretty crazy mobility, but also allows for the devs to give these bosses very wide AoE moves that you need to react to quickly with Torrent in order to be able to get out of harm's way in a timely manner. But then, doesn't that seem kind of overpowered? If Torrent provides you with all this extra mobility, then couldn't you just weave your way in and out of attacks while attacking with Torrent at the same time? Well, kinda, but there's an inherent risk to using Torrent whenever you're in a battle. See, you have your own health bar, and then you have Torrent's health bar. Whether you or he gets hit whenever you make contact with an attack honestly seems like a crapshoot, but whenever Torrent runs out of health, he disappears and you plop down on the ground, writhing around like you just broke your spine from the fall, completely vulnerable to any and all attacks while doing so. It's not like you can just roll out of that animation. No, you're stuck there for a good couple seconds. And if you get hit while on the ground, it results in you receiving more damage than usual. And if that weren't enough of a punishment, resummoning Torrent then consumes one of your heals. So there's definitely a risk-reward to the mounted combat, and you really have to decide what approach is more appropriate whenever you're taking on a boss within Elden Ring. There are definitely bosses that I've completely taken on foot, just because that's my preferred way to fight. But then I watch others playing the exact same boss and see them take on the boss completely on Torrent. It really is pretty cool that Elden Ring kinda just allows you to approach bosses how you want, and doesn't force you to get on or off Torrent during most of the boss fights anyway. Could the mounted combat use some refinement though? Absolutely. Am I still glad From decided to reiterate and change things up instead of making Dark Souls 4? Definitely. Should you like and subscribe for more Elden Ring content because you enjoyed this video? I don't know. Maybe.